So this thing is gonna look amazing when we get done with it.
Banger. Absolutely awesome build. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, while we're breaking down the case, so Paul, what was some of your favorite things that you got to see there at DreamHack Atlanta?
Oh man, so starting out, the Star Citizen section that was right next to where I was doing the building, they had so many computers set up, and then right when we got there, they were setting up all these flight sticks. And these things look amazing. Man. They had like 2 per system, so I got to watch George figure out how to calibrate those and get them all set up, but that was definitely a really awesome part. Other than that, they had a StarCraft 2 tournament, so I sat down and watched some StarCraft 2. It's been a while since I've done that, so that was cool. And we got to play some Magic as well, so it was a good weekend.
That sounds amazing. Super exciting. So, now, obviously, the NV5 is our little, well, it's a little brother to the NV, little sibling to the NV7. And obviously, it's only the, and the NV7 is the middle child, because the giant one is NV9. So, walk us through some of the really cool components and configurations that you can do with this build.
So the thing that stands out the most across the NV series is obviously the slanted bottom. That's the thing that gets looked at quite a bit like, oh, that's kind of crazy. The bottom's slanted. And if I turn around here, you'll see your power supply's out of slant. Obviously with the NV7, we have 3 bottom fans that would be curved up for the airflow. The NV5 has 1 since it's a smaller chassis. But that is a design element that's, you know, run throughout the whole family of them. Other than that, there's no bar right here, so you just get a really clean transition between your front and your side glass panel.
Which is awesome, and we've seen how good that can look. By the way, if you're new here, welcome in. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them, because that's what we love to do, is answer questions. Whether you're watching us on Twitch, Kick, or over on the red side, we got you handled. Now let's start by talking about this motherboard, because this is a really nice motherboard. What we're looking at here is the MSI, where'd it go? There it is. An MSI MPG Z790 Edge. Now, the great thing about this is the connectivity. The connectivity in this is wild. So starting at the very top, we've obviously got our display port, and we've got our HDMI. Down below there, you've got your CMOS and reset buttons, and then we have got, let's see here, 2 different, no, it looks like 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1. There are 5 gigabyte ports. We've got a multitude of the Reds, which are the USB 3.2 Gen 2. That's 10 gigs up and down. And then, of course, you would also notice we've got the 3.2 Gen 2 by 2, which is 20 gigs. That's just below the other 10 gig Type C. You've got yourself a 2.5 gig LAN port, obviously your Wi-Fi, and of course your optical spit out with all your surround sound. So, yay. Lots of fun, good stuff, and it's a great looking board. Well, it's MSI, of course, it's a great looking board. So for our processor, we're going to be punching in there a Core i9 14900KF by our friends over at Intel. And so my question is, what can you tell me about this processor?
Wow. So this is obviously the latest and greatest top of the line i9 from Intel. DJ really throwing me for a loop there. But it's a 24 core, 32 thread processor. You've got 8 performance cores that have hyper threading and 16 efficiency cores. It's got a base speed of 3.2 and will boost up to 6.0. So blazing fast, ton of usability on this thing. This is a beast of a processor. Now we're gonna get into the AIO next, DJ, and since it's the first time we've had this on the show, I'd like to kind of unbox this maybe with our overhead shot as well, Zach. Yeah, that was what you were doing. And show you guys.
And while you're doing there, so just so everybody knows, Ivory is out sick today. I know it's been said in one of the chats, but I just want to make sure everybody understands. He unfortunately is at home and is not with us today. But don't worry. Nicole is here, and she just presented a code worth 75 for 100 entries for 75 people. It's DHATL 2665. Now, this is for the Crusader build, okay? Crusader build. So check it out. You want to use that right now for 75 people win. Everybody else, sorry. Now, taking a look at that top down, obviously we've got great packaging and options.
Yeah, we can probably, we're going to get all the hardware out right here. Yep. You're good? All right, so we had a few hardware kits to go through on this. You can see we've obviously left the extras in the box. This is just so you grab the right chipset for whatever you buy.
Nice. Well, first of all, it's a gorgeous box. Now, as far as AIOs, this is again a 360. What stands out to you that differs from other AIOs that we've used in the past?
So it's definitely a more squared off radiator, which I think looks good, but nothing too crazy there. However, the pump has a screen on it. And we have seen AIOs with our pumps have a screen on it, but this is going to display all sorts of information that we can change around and set. So that's probably the biggest thing that stands out on this.
And we can go ahead and I will give that to you.
All right. Oh, it just pops off like that, huh? That's pretty cool.
Well, that seems easy. I'm kind of excited to see what's going to go into that, what's going to light up and what's not.
Other than that, installing this, pretty straightforward like any other AIO with this chipset. We obviously have our back plate here that Zach is putting on. Once that's in and lined up with the holes, we'll flip it over and put our standoffs in the back plate, and then we can get to mounting everything else after that.
By the way, quick shout out to everybody over there on the green side. Hello, I see Nike, ICS Williams, and Uber Noob, Asbinock. And once again, for those of you who did not hear that code was DHATL-2665. 2,665. The year of our Lord. Okay. Now, while we're putting this together, what else did you get to do? What else did you get to see? What else was new for Atlanta that you enjoyed?
So that was my first time doing a build at the Intel booth, which was a whole lot of fun. Great people over there, and they were giving away a ton of stuff, like those big giant mouse pads. So that was really cool. They had all sorts of different like artist designs on those that was being given away. Really, and it was pretty impressive, the amount of people that were there to play Magic as well. So it was cool to see all around.
Nice. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't hit up the Waffle House this time. I guess that's a notable thing. We didn't do no 4 a.m. Waffle House, so we'll save that for next time.
Right?
Okay. Can I go over something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Whoa, that's some
so
crazy
I have been
thermal
playing
paste.
with this liquid cooler for a while now. The one crazy thing about it is the bracket that actually holds it down to the motherboard.
That's gorgeous. Oh,
No,
it just slides on.
no screws needed. It just slides in. There is another little bracket kit in the box for AMD, so this just slides out, and you just slide in the one for the AMD or the one for the Threadripper. It comes pre-applied with thermal paste as well. And
It's
so
like
it's
a cool design.
And
they
a
got on their
really
thermal
interesting
paste. I don't know if
design,
that's
that's
just
what I
for
was-
looks. I mean, I'm sure it'll obviously spread out and fill the gaps.
It
but
helps it to where it keeps from overloading, but still covers up all of the next generation of processors, being how big they are. You don't want to have too much splooge on there, but just the right amount of thermal paste will, and that's essentially what these engineers have done. It is awesome.
And is this cap magnetic?
It is.
Or
It
is it
is. It
slide
will
those
kind of
notches
magnet onto these
onto
little
those
screws
posts,
here.
yeah.
And then if we've got that top down, right here is a
even
little
show.
8-pin. And so that's how it will register and read. And this displays a temperature readout in Celsius standard. I'm sure you can go in and set it to be whatever you want, but it just auto shows your fluid temp, which is really nice.
Yeah, I do like that. It's always nice to have that visual. Just you have to look. You don't have to open up a program and like alt tab to a different window to see your stats. You just look at it.
Yes.
No, I'm still just grinning over the thermal paste descriptor. Sorry. Anyways,
put this on later? or-
Yeah, that's
let's do
the
that.
last thing that I
sounds good.
will install.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and do the fun stuff.
Do all
to
the
it.
fun peel.
Yeah.
We actually we let someone who was watching the build in DreamHack do all the peeling of the video
Nice.
card, and they got a desk mat for it.
Heck yeah.
It's cool.
It's a good job. You know, this is preparation that I don't like having to do later down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, peeling off that stuff though it's somehow peaceful. I don't know. It's satisfying when you take it all off.
It is.
Go memory modulars.
Alrighty.
Get into
That looks
our
really
memory
clean.
next.
All
really
right.
like this
Now,
XPG stuff.
for our memory, we have something that I specifically love. It is the DDR5 6000. Now, this is two 16 gig sticks for a total of 32, and this is by our friends over at AData. Now, AData, we know that. Oh, look at notes XPG. What am I looking at then? Got it. So it's XPG.
is AData.
Oh,
gaming
that I
line.
did not know. Well, there we go. Look, I learn something every day. Beautiful. Oh, RAM right there. That's gorgeous. Now, 32 gig sticks of 32 gigs total of DDR5 6000. And I have DDR5 6000 in my rig, so I love it. It's fast and it's ridiculous. So, now I did not, somehow I just never put the two together. XPG and AData. There we go. Now, as for our drives, we've got two different drives going into this, and they are both M.2s, very similar to my rig. So our operating system is going to be on a 2 terabyte Samsung 970 Evo Plus M.2, and then we've got a secondary drive, which is a 2 terabyte Patriot P300 M.2. So, Paul, when comparing the two different brands, is there anything remarkable to note, or is there any way of really telling which one might be a better performer?
So you can always just look up the specs online, but this Samsung drive is going to be a little bit faster than this Patriot drive. We are kind of splitting hairs here. They are both NVMe, they're both Gen 4, so both of these drives are incredibly fast. But this 970 Evo from Samsung is going to be a little bit faster than this P300, so we're going to put the Samsung in the top slot and use that as our OS drive.
Do you mind pushing
Yep.
that? I can't. Sorry.
I got you.
So,
Thank you.
as we begin our questions for the day, we've got Chili Sam coming in with one right over here on the purple side. It's a dumb question. There are no such things. But has there ever been problems with RAM being so close to each other and generating too much heat?
No, not that I've seen. RAM really doesn't get that hot. You see the heat spreaders on a lot of stuff now, and I feel like that's kind of more for looks, of slapping some RGB on there. It obviously does help performance a little bit, keeping it cool. But yeah, I've never had an issue with RAMs being, with the RAM sticks being too close and overheating or anything
Priority?
like that. Yep. Yeah, we'll do the 970 Evo up top.
There we go.
And why did I ask priority?
Because we want our faster drive to be loading our operating system, just for faster boot times.
Yep.
Like I said, we're kind of splitting hairs here when you've got two NVMe drives, but
Yeah. But that's actually why I went, when I put my Samsung up top for my operating system, is because of how fast it was. That I know that the what was it, Kingston Fury? Mm-hmm. It's not a slow RAM, but how did you? What? I was just looking like, how does that go on?
it's a pretty sweet
That one's the quick
design.
release,
Yeah.
yeah.
This one doesn't have anything. These just slide into the notches and it pushes down on the post and you're good to go.
God, that
This
is
one we actually have to use a
exceedingly-
screwdriver for. Can you believe that?
God.
Have
So
to bust
old
out
school.
a screwdriver.
Yes, and then there are other ones. I think like Rogue has a little sensor, and this is like a screen. And so
Oh,
when
right.
you snap it down, it's also kind of like the cap, how it makes a connection, and then you can
Interesting.
do lots of
You know what
fun
else
stuff.
makes it? You know what else makes a really good connection? Using code SABRE-OG76 right now for our Saber Raven giveaway. Big shout out and thank you to Nicole for that. I don't know how many people it's for, but we do know that if you don't get it in quickly, you may not get it in at all. Remember, some of these are limited use, and that's just okay.
Like that way.
Yep.
Yeah, 75 people are going to get that 100 extra entries. I know that on my stream later on today, I've got one for 100 entries for 200 people. So we'll see if we can use that. Get that all used up today. Look at that. God, that turned out well. Now, as far as our fans are concerned, let's see here. Jessica in Georgia went with 8 Intermax HF120 fans. Now, these are, well, let's talk about these fans.
Yeah, so these are the Intermax 120 fans. We have these in black and white. These are obviously the white version. They have RGB on them. Pretty standard 120 mil fan, but these do spin pretty fast. I don't have the exact RPM on here. I believe it's a range from 500 to 1600 based on the need. But I do like these fans. Now, they do make our tie-up a little bit more complicated because, as you can see, we've got a set of 2 wires coming off here. This is our traditional 4-pin fan header, and then this is obviously our RGB connection. So since we have 8 fans, that's going to have us with 16 cables for our fans. So going to make the cable management a little bit challenging, but that's okay.
Nice. We did have somebody mentioned that they're having issues with the website. One thing that we have noticed is that if try unlinking or relinking or logging out and logging back in, that sometimes fixes it. We're not sure why it catches, but again, it's not our website.
Is it plugged in?
Shut up.
The button on the side, is it glowing?
Yeah. Is the website plugged in?
Okay.
All right.
Oh yes, eat all the cookies. Now we get our case. Now, one of the cool things about this case is it is made by Fantex, obviously, and one of the things that Fantex is known for when it comes to their cases is the, first of all, it comes with Velcro ties that are already mounted in the case, which is great for an organization when it comes to cable management. But it also comes with its own custom anti-sag device. So that's already built into the board, already sitting there, ready to go.
And because it's
Which
a
is
light
nice.
case, we will be using silver hardware.
Oh, nice. Oh, so it comes with different colored, like black if you're using a black case, silver if you're using a white case.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Gotcha. And just to go back into something that was said earlier, I've said this every time somebody says it, but we'll say it again. There's no such thing as stupid questions. Just remember, some idiot walked into a boardroom and said, you know what? Can we make a movie about a shark or a bunch of sharks in tornadoes? And that became a $5 billion franchise. So,
Boom.
there's no stupid questions, no stupid answers. I heard that there might be a Christmas, Sharknado Christmas coming. That would be just hilarious. Does Ivory have a zip tie preference? He refuses to let us use white ones because they break. They get brittle faster. Okay, getting all these done now. Big thing to pay attention to. You see where he's actually screwing in the board. Those are going into the little nubs, basically, that stick out of the back of the case called standoffs. Paul, what are standoffs for?
Yeah, so standoffs separate the motherboard from the frame of the chassis here. So if we didn't have our standoffs in and we were just screwing our motherboard directly to our case, we're going to have a lot of contact areas on the back of that motherboard that's going to cause it to short out, cause a whole bunch of different issues if you do that. So you just want to make sure you have standoffs in all the holes that that line up with your motherboard for their mounting holes, and yeah.
Right, all the cables.
While you're doing that, Zach, I think I'm going to get the power supply out, and we'll get our cables going.
Take a look. Let's take a look at that. That is a 1,000 watt EVGA Supernova G5, and it is an 80 plus gold power supply. But this also, Jessica asked for there to be sleeved white cable set. So we're going to definitely get to use some custom cables for this, which is going to be great. Thanks to the wonderful folks over at Cable Mod. I'm already loving the look of this because there's nothing already in there. What kind of power supply do we have?
All right, so this is a fully modular EVGA 1,000 watt 80 plus gold power supply. So this comes with a whole bunch of cables since it's modular, but like you said, we're not going to be using them. So So we're just gonna put that box down there, get this out, and then we'll get our white cable kit out. And we'll start separating out what we need for this build and what will be extra. So,
speaking of,
go ahead. DJ.
I was gonna say, speaking of extra, I want to give a shout out to I'm Bud Tender. Ordered your PC yesterday, and you're super excited. We are glad to hear that. Welcome to the fam, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we've also got, let's see here. Zarep, did I just show up again? No, we're not building another one giveaway, but we do have 2 PCs to give away now. Carrie Ann King says your PCs at DreamHack were beautiful. Yeah, they are.
Hey, thank you.
They were gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah, did you get a chance to play for the free play or the stream, the stream studio? Would love to hear it.
All right. Here are our cables. Look at these things. These
Go
are
for
clean.
it. Yep.
So we got our cable kit here. I'm just going to go through these and make sure we got everything we need and get them as prepped as I can for Zach. It looks like these ones come with cable combs already mounted onto the cables, so that's really awesome. Saves us some time there.
Hey Paul, what's a cable comb and how does it work?
Good question. So this is a cable comb. We can go back to this shot here. So if you're looking at these cables on the front, they've got these are called the combs, and what this does is keep all these cables separate and looking nice and clean. So there's 3 that are bunched up together, and we can separate them out however we want to give it the best look. So this is obviously our 24 pins. It's going to be going into our motherboard kind of at a U-shaped angle like this. And so I'm just spreading these out a little bit to just make it look really good on that side. Now I'm sure Zach will adjust these once he gets it in there, but yep, that's what these do.
I absolutely love mine. They are fantastic.
They're the chef's kiss on a cable kit.
Absolutely. Triggers Twitch asked, and I know I typed it in there, but just in case other people are wondering, asked, how was the Sabre Raven case made? So it's actually designed, and our master of all things printing and design, known as Kyle
Scarecrow,
prints all the stuff. He did all the printing on mine. Yeah. So, and obviously you can see mine's a half frost, but yeah. So that's what I do. And you can get things custom printed, custom painted here. We've got some pretty ridiculous options.
Yeah, if you've got a customization thing that you want to put on your case, just order one of our systems and talk to our staff. They'll get you squared away.
Okay. Now, as Zach is getting started with the cable management on the back, obviously the case comes with a bunch of cables already installed. What are those cables for?
So the main thing from your case that just come already ready to go is for your power button, your USBs up top, Type-Cs, all that good stuff. So that's what Zach's got in his hand right there. So our USB 3.0, our Type-C, power button, front panel headers, all that good stuff.
HD audio.
Yeah, can't forget about the HD audio, baby.
That HUD audio.
Yeah.
EPS
I'm always
CPU,
daydreaming about
right?
new cases.
Yes.
I always have to ask. I feel like I ask that question every time I'm going through a cable kit.
Penguin says DJ's dreaming of a 4090 for Christmas. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But so was playing Dying Light 2, obviously. I'm sure there was a bunch of you who were in my streams for it, and it went on Tuesday. And then previously on Thursday, we had hilarious times. I've got a brand new holiday event where if you kill a decorated zombie that is dressed like the Grinch, they look like Grinches. Tiny elves about half the size of a person is there, and you can basically drop kick these elves. It's like kicking obnoxious children in Walmart. It's not that you should do that, but that's the way it feels. Except for they will jump on top of each other and launch at your face. It's terrifyingly funny.
Okay.
It's like a
laughed
3
a
or a
lot.
2 SATA.
Make you guys work a little bit for the codes. Heck yeah.
4 SATAs.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
We have a question coming in from Geraldo.
I can't count.
You're good.
Geraldo asks, do you think USB-C will be the final evolution of USB? It feels like it would be hard to iterate any further improvements. Yeah.
I mean, it seems that way, but y'all know. Something's going to come out. It's going to be USB wireless.
Right? Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah, Widger was there. The elves are nuts. We couldn't stop laughing. It was just obnoxiously hilarious. You can't help if your stream. You can't tell if the stream is frozen, but I'm seeing everyone ask for codes. Yes, everybody goes code, and then eventually, codes come.
All right, so
Let's go.
I'm gonna get the video card out next.
Alrighty.
This is a fun one.
Now, this is an Asus ROG Strix GeForce RTX 4080. It's the overclock edition. So I have the 3090 overclock edition. They're beautiful. They're white. They fit white builds so well. Truly, truly gorgeous. Wally says, just got an iPhone 15, and man, I can't tell you how much better and more convenient it is when compared to the Lightning. Yeah. It looks more powerful than my 720 Ti. I'm gonna say that
What will you
right
bet?
about there. So, what's up, Demons Play? If we could type that in English, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Whoa, this is a heavy box.
RGB. Cool. Done.
Well, I mean, it's a heavy card.
True.
It's gonna be wild.
Done.
Look at this thing.
The box fart is best when unboxing things. That's hilarious. Also true.
True. All right. The fun part.
There we go. Jeez, that thing is massive. My God.
It is.
Oh my Lord. Commander Strato, welcome. Commander Strato, an incredible pilot. Absolutely great to fly with you and play with you. That was a fun day. Another win from Nicole, coming in for unlimited 200 people. It is going to be Sabre-WSRE. WSRE. Would someone release
As you do. Hey,
eggs?
Jason. I'm gonna.
Eggs.
WSRE, that is your code. That is an unlimited code. Everybody gets to use it. We're 200 entries. That is going to be awesome. All the peeling. So now, obviously, it's a heavier card, but walk us through some of the cool things that you've noticed about the design, because I think, like, the ROG Strix are in the top tier of, in my opinion. I absolutely love all of their builds.
So, just starting out with the obvious. Obviously, it's a white card. This thing looks awesome. It's going to match the build great. A lot of plastic on this thing. Good looking backplate, and this is where our RGB is going to be. Sorry, right here around this ring. Yeah, this is just top of the. This is probably the best 4080 you can buy right now.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous machine. Now we're gonna get that cooler pump plugged into the very top. Get that all powered up. Now this obviously is done a little bit differently. Oftentimes you'll see Zach put it on first, but this time you didn't. Zach, walk us through why.
So this has this giant long cable that I just poked through. So I can bring it all the way over to the front of the system. That's how long this cable is. We can hit pulse pace with it.
Hey.
So I just want
Assault.
to, yes, I just want to get it out of the way because it also plugs into this Corsair controller, and this is what controls the, man, I would assume all of the program and everything.
Yeah, all the Yep, all the RGB and everything.
And so that's like
And the fans.
a 3-pin, or not a 3-pin, but like a 30-pin header. And then it also has a USB. Then the control box has a SATA plug and another USB. But the controller also holds 6 4-pin fans and 6 Corsair proprietary RGB plug-in. So since we're only using this for the liquid cooler, I'm just going to get it out of the way real quick.
Okay.
What
Sounds
other
good.
USBs are there? None? This is everything,
I
right?
think that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It used to be on like the super high-end builds, you know, you had the most stuff to plug in, but now I feel like they're making it so easy on the higher-end hardware to get everything together. You need less cables.
Yeah, well, I will definitely agree with some of the things being said in chat. ROG is definitely on the spendier side.
It is.
yes.
Yeah. This is an expensive card. However, it looks amazing.
Yeah. Like that was one of the, when we first started designing my case, what was that, a year and a half ago? That was, I was like, I need a white 3090. Straight up. Then the 40 series came out. Will there be time where PC components won't require cables and instead just directly plug into a motherboard? And good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. So we've talked about that here in the shop before. And I think basically what a good prediction for what might come ahead is like things are just going to plug into each other without cables, just like how that liquid cooler cap just plugged into the liquid cooler. You don't have to do anything. I think that's what's going to happen with a lot of things. Like you'll set your motherboard in your tray and it'll make a few connections that, you know, will power the other stuff. So.
I like that. That looks good.
Now, we do have a question coming in from Nike. Do these newer GPUs have vapor cooling and liquid metal? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Liquid metal, like thermal paste
I know that that's kind of starting to be a thing where it's like actual liquid metal in there. When it gets hot, it, you know.
It can distribute the heat a lot quicker.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this card does.
Toothpick Vic says, talk about a good looking, the setups of DreamHack and the crew that showed up. Aw, thank you very much. That's awesome. We're really glad you had a blast there. That's good stuff. Thank you very much, Nightmare, for getting in here. Good to have you.
I'm gonna just do quick.
You're full. So Commander Strato says, I did a full ROG build a few years back, and like the cost of the Strix card was like $300 more than anything else. The motherboard was like $200 more. I will say, like, yeah, but the things you can do with their boards is wild. Absolutely wild. I'm still learning. Okay. Oh, nice. You can just shove it right on there.
Okay.
Cool beans.
Limited graphics. Oh, good night.
Yeah. Like vapor chamber. You know what? Nike, I'm gonna look that up right now.
Blast off.
Mess me up, Paul. If that was a single slot card, that'd be a quadro.
Sorry, brother.
We don't do single slot cards. Good night.
Let's do this. So.
This is a
This is pretty. That popped in.
So ROG actually makes vapor chamber cards.
Yes.
So, from what it's saying here, how vapor chambers work? Sometimes we want even more cooling power, and that's where vapor chambers come in. While typical heat pipes are very efficient, they're still limited by the tight area inside of your device. The walls of each pipe take up precious space, and each curve in the pipe lowers its efficiency somewhat. That means our engineering team works hard to find the most efficient route from point A to point B every time we design a laptop or graphics card. Vapor chambers overcome these limitations because, as their name suggests, they consist of a large chamber spreading across a large area. This not only allows them to carry more heat because you can create a larger total vacuum in which to distribute it, but it also allows you to cover more of the motherboard. This means fewer spots on the surface of the laptop and better cooling in crucial components like the voltage regulator modules. Vapor chambers may still use heat pipes to distribute thermal energy to the final heatsink, but they can use them much more efficiently since the heat pipes don't have to be as close to the heat source itself. That is the CPU or GPU die. Interesting. Well, that is, I had no idea what that was, but nice.
Actually, let's just go ahead and do cables.
So, by the way, we've got a Crusader code, !GiveCrusader, and it is for 150 people. That is DHATL 5NKZ 5 Nevada Kilo Zebra.
No.
And that's going to be for worth 100 entries for those 150 people. Love it. Love it a lot. Now, one of the things you can see, this is a good spot to see the Velcro ties. If you could point those out, Paul, real quick.
Our Velcro ties, they're a little bit sneaky
Yeah.
in here because they match the case.
Yeah.
But this right here, this is the Velcro ties. So you can see we've got a couple going horizontal and some going vertical. We like to still use zip ties in the build.
Oh, yeah.
And use the Velcro ties to secure our already bundled cables down. But if you don't want to use zip ties, you can just run your cables this way and use those to secure them down as well. It just won't look as nice.
Wait, hold on. That was worth 1 entry? All right, not 100, just the one. Just the one. Because remember, it only takes one to win the giveaway. Chili, I can't decide what to do. How about DreamHack V420? DHATL V Victor 420. It's very 420 up in here. Well, I live in Oregon, so I mean, why not? Not now, but later. Zach's gonna be like, very 420 blaze it. There you go. There we go. Man, we had some really interesting word puzzles over the last week of shows since you guys took off for Atlanta.
Yeah. Good.
Oh yeah.
Good word puzzles.
Some that took a little bit longer than anticipated to get.
So you're doing it right.
Yes. Now, we see what you're doing in here, but so walk us through how you install the cable mods and how you make them look so clean.
So, with the way that this power supply enters through the back here instead of the rear of the case, I like to have everything plugged in first and then take it down to the power supply. That just helps me to keep the cables orientated the right direction once it's installed, like from the inside. I care more about the look on the inside of the system than the back side of the system, if that shows. So like I just want the interior to look a little bit better than it does in the back. So if I have like this 24 pin kind of curled right here, that's fine because it looks pretty clean right there like that.
Front.
I just need this.
Also, quick correction, that was 420 Vector 42 Oscar. Yeah, that was not 420. So there you go. People in the audience blazing up like, oh, wait, it was 42-0. It's not right. Yeah, Victor 42 Oscar. That is your code. That is worth 2. Last underscore welcome, and thank you so much for being here. says DreamHack was amazing. Loved seeing you guys all over. Right? Yeah. DreamHack's always fun with CLX. Gotta say.
Oh yeah.
Right? Penguin's over here got distracted with the 420. I hear you. I hear you.
Can you get this one right here? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, Paul, get it together.
Hey, this is why.
That's 2 extra frames per second right there.
This is why I'm on this side of the table. Okay.
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 Know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, so Nightmare mentions that Nightmare says bad with my hands when it comes to creative or technical stuff. I wish to do like cosplay and stuff as well, but like a full clone trooper armor and such, my ability to craft is just horrible. So I am very fortunate to have been gifted at one point a Master Chief armor, and which I believe is now in the I think it's now up in the 343 Halo Museum, but it was the first 3D printed Master Chief armor. It was wild.
Ooh,
But yeah,
okay.
no, I would love to be a clone trooper, stormtrooper, but my God, the intense amount of work it takes. It's really cool.
Power supply.
There we go.
Okay. First things last. Suit up.
Don't forget where you came from.
So now you're going to be putting these into the power supply first.
Yes.
And then how do you get the power supply in once they're connected?
Essentially, this gets slid in from here. That's a pretty good angle. So like all this gets slid in this way. The nice thing about the NV5 is this angled plate right here, I can unscrew it and remove and make it to where I can have this power supply installed and be able to plug everything in, but it makes it a whole lot easier to plug stuff in here and then slide it compared to having it in there and then trying to make sure that you're plugging how. So this is just kind of depending on, it really does depend on like my mood. I'll either plug them into the power supply first or go from the motherboard to the power. Sometimes it depends on
Nice.
the cables. And then I'm OCD enough to where these have to be in the right order, because that's the middle and those are the outsides.
I'm Pretender says, I will say for anyone watching, CLX was the only PC company to reply to my DM and put together a build of what I wanted for a very reasonable price. Highly recommended. We are really glad to hear that. To be honest, we do a lot of, our customer service is pretty bang on.
Yeah,
Pretty bang on.
I really like hearing those things. That's great to hear. We got a great support staff, and I mean they're all gamers like us. So you know you can just tell them what games you're playing, what games you want to play, you know, at what resolution and what frame rate you're trying to hit, and they can put something together for you.
Let's see here. Ezra in Space says the anti-sag brace on the GPU is nice. There's a spacer for that build. There was a spacer for that built into the case. Yeah, it actually comes with the case.
Yeah, so Fanatec started including that already built in. So you just buy the case out of the box that's got that installed, and it's adjustable lengthwise and up and down as well. So it is a really good anti-sag bracket. We've seen a whole bunch of them. Everything now is starting to get to be pretty good, but what we're looking for is an anti-sag bracket that actually mounts to the frame of the chassis. So that's what's going to give you the most support, and this one does that. So.
Commander Strato also asks, I wonder how much it costs to send a PC in one of those big crates to Australia.
That's a good question.
Yep, excellent question. Yeah, Nike, I agree. It sucks, but a lot of companies have pretty lackluster customer support. Great to know that CLX is amazing with customer service. Absolutely correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Graphics cards are getting so big that case manufacturers are putting them into the cases now. Oh yeah, for the intersect brackets. Yeah, which is smart. You know, it matches the case. It's on theme. Yeah.
It's one less thing you got to figure out if you're buying a larger video card. Like, okay, I got to go buy a bracket for this. Does this bracket work with my case? Does it work with my video card? All that good stuff. Fantex includes them. Leon Lee includes them as well. The Leon Lee one is a little different. It doesn't look as sleek as this, but it is a good bracket. Still mounts to the chassis and all that. So yeah, we are starting to see a lot of the case manufacturers include that.
So Nightmare asks, speaking of customer service, how's your guys' international coverage? Western EU guy here.
I don't remember what hours off the top of my head we're open, but we're pretty much, I think we're open every day of the year, honestly. And I think it's 8 to 8 our time. So, you know, you should be able to catch us in the morning or the evening.
I could have just done that too.
By the way, hello to Tahirsky and Northwind over on the red side. Welcome. And Nellis over on the green.
We got extra.
Good to hear you.
Maybe the customer will upgrade a hard drive or something.
You never know. Yeah, wait, all the Western EU high fives in here. Love it. I dig it. Okay. Now we're getting into the final section. We still have a few more fans to put on there.
Yeah, we've got, 5 more fans to throw in. I went ahead and did the hard part, which was putting this one fan in the bottom tray here for Zach. But then he's going to add 3 more in to this back here as intakes, and then 1 in the rear over there.
Nice. Nice.
But the way Zach's doing it is really the way you want to be cable managing. He's taking care of everything that he can right now. That way when we get to the fans, there's not a whole bunch of other cables in the way. I mean, if you look at this, this almost looks like a completely tied up system. We will clean this up a little bit, obviously, once we get our fan cables in and all that. But this is the way to do it.
Yeah. Forecast Yeti says, one of my favorite photos from DreamHack is setting Pico down on the Sabre PC with all the Star Citizen signage in the background. That is, that sounds amazing. By the way, for any of you who's wondering how to get involved with Star Citizen, it is robertsspaceindustries.com. Just remember that.
Fantastic.
Final section code BT Dubs Sabre-FMIC. For me, IC. Federal monkey incarcerated currently. Finally making independent choices. Forever mastering Ichabod Crane.
Oh, that's in the reverse.
That's, yeah. Not sure how many there's for, but it looks amazing. More codes, more Nicole. First 150 to claim that, get an extra 100 entries. That is 100 for each of you. Getting us ready for your stream with the word games, DJ? Yes, yes, I am. That is the key here. Just kind of get your brains warmed up. How DJ formulates the word puzzles? Yes, definitely. Yeah, because today's is going to be very interesting.
Put the screw in your magnetic tray there.
Okay. Oh, for the back?
For the back, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But I have a feeling that today's code is going to be guessed real fast. So I will say I do have a code that'll be giving out for the Sabre giveaway today. And we'll see if we can get one for the other as well. Okay. Now, obviously, we've got the fan intakes and outtakes, so let's talk about how that airflow is going to work in this system, Paul.
So, how the airflow is going to work in this case is our intake is on this side, so we've got 1 here at the bottom and 3 going in the side that Zach's installing right now. That's going to be bringing air into our system, and then we're going to be exhausting it out this fan here and the 3 up top through the radiator. So the way you can tell on airflow direction on these fans is you can obviously see the fan grill, like right here in my hand. Yep, there we go. So that's how you know air's coming in. Also, Intermax has printed arrows on their fan. We can catch the right light. It's kind of hard to see, but it shows you which way the air is flowing and also which way the fan is rotating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just messaging an operator. Can I call and speak directly to technician to make sure my order makes sense? Chad, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can either one of those.
Most
you can come over
definitely.
chat and try to just get a quick answer, but if you're not, getting what you need there, you can have them call you as well. They'll do both.
Yeah,
They can help you.
they are
pick
really
out the
wonderful.
parts
They're a
you
really
need.
wonderful group of people over there. You want for your cutlass? So yeah, Forecast Yeti. I've got. I'm honestly kind of thinking about. I've been really looking at the Phoenix because I have my what's it called? My cutlass. Not my cutlass. My Constellation Andromeda. But I would love to have that. Love to have some a little more family friendly. Also, I want to know how the hot tub works. Bart Bull, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. C1 is pretty family friendly? Yeah. Yeah, if you have the Andromeda, no reason to get another Connie. It's just, I don't know. It's just pretty. But unfortunately, the weapons on that thing are not exactly the best. The hot tub in the Phoenix is a mistake, not gonna lie. Uh-oh. X-Clue wants that PC. Ah, yeah. It's just kind of hilarious to think about.
Let's deal with them later.
You're excited for the Zeus MK? Yeah. Not great for vertical hangers. Yeah, well, you're not wrong. Man, I've really had to learn how to get into that third person view and then really just focus on getting it right on and just go down. A reclaimer? No, but I should know it. What did we say I had? I think I had like 24 million left in game credit. Let's see here. I'm just still, I've only been playing the game for a little while, so once gravity can be turned off in ships, water is going to be problematic. Actually, you have a very, very, very good point.
Okay, that one's good. Let's take care of this one.
Let's take a look at that reclaimer.
This is the Fantex
Oh yeah, these things
NV5.
look wild. Yeah, the reclaimers look wild.
That's too far. Okay.
It's a big boy Sabbath ship. Yeah.
This guy right here.
Use the gravity. Yeah. Gaugerator, you're back. What's going on? How are you? Good to have you.
Okay.
Hello, Gage.
And then I want you, not you, and you.
There we go. Now, Zach does have a very specific way he likes to wire in all of the fans, and it's not only for good organization, but it also helps with something else. Zach, kind of walk everybody through what the science is behind how you do this.
So usually I'm working with like a nice big fan hub, like what we have right here. This guy right here. But these are being 4-pin fans are getting plugged into a daisy chain where I'm daisying 3 together. So essentially I've got the roof. The 3 that are daisied onto that are going to get plugged into
the CPU fan headers so that those will be at max beans. And then I've got the side over here, these being a 3-stack, I've got those going into another, I want to say RGB splitter, fan header, or fan
splitter.
Thank you.
I got
Words.
you. Got you, fam.
And it will get plugged into a case chassis. But this kind of just lets me, by separating like the top from the side, and then I have a solo and a solo, it just makes it a lot easier to keep things separated so that if anything was needing to be troubleshot or worked on, just a little bit easier to be like, okay, it's this quadrant, I need to take out this cable here, and I should be able to fix it relatively easy compared to bundling.
We have a couple questions coming in. TLCJ209 on the green side asks, can I ask a question about my GPU? Absolutely. We have a question over here while you're typing your question out. Teddy Bear Killa PS asks, what's the highest end PCIe 3.0 GPU from NVIDIA and AMD?
3.0, not 4.0. I mean, I don't. One of the 90s. I don't remember which one when that switched, but yeah, probably a 3090. That's probably 4.0 already. So, you know, maybe 2080 Ti. There was not a 2090, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I've never too concerned about the PCIe generation, because if you have a 4.0, you know, you can put it in a 3.0 slot.
Yes, it is. Wally is correct. It is an NV5. And have we any thoughts or opinions on the NV9? It's huge. Jumping over to TLCJ's question says, so my GPU keeps making my screen go red and flickering red, and it was happening in November and now again. And I've taken it out and cleaned it and put thermal paste on, and it's still doing it.
Have you tried a different output port on it? Like if you're using HDMI, is there another HDMI port you could try? That would be my first recommendation, but yeah, typically when you're getting some issues like that, sometimes it's just a borked card. Use DisplayPort. Yeah, if there's another DisplayPort output, definitely try that. Sometime I've definitely seen it where it looks like the card's artifacting and all that good stuff, and you just switch ports and it works. Could just be a bad connection from the actual solder joint to that port. So that's what I would try first, but yeah.
How many monitors are plugged into the system as well? Because if you have like a triple monitor system, that is pulling extra off of the card, so that can do some stuff too.
I see only one display port. That's too bad. Only one display port and one HDMI. Dang. Yeah, might be time for a new card then. I mean, you could always revert your drivers. I feel like that's kind of a shot in the dark. You could go back to an older driver, but it's something you could try before you had to spend some money.
You could write Santa real quick and he might be able to deliver you something.
Let's see here. Well,
yeah, VGA.
Yeah, we try not to do any self-advertising. That just FYI, forecast.
Yeah, if you're a TLC, if you're saying a VGA output, you know, you could definitely try that if you even have a cable and if your monitor does it. But yeah.
Now, I will say one of the things that I'm really looking forward to in the wonderful world of Star Citizen is the Javelin.
Yeah.
That thing is a massive beast of a ship.
I guess something else, TLC. I'm trying to think of everything before you have to spend some money. But if you've got like another PC at home and you could just swap that video card into there, you know, it kind of eliminates everything else. But yeah, it's sounding to me like it's time for a new video card.
That happens. Can't wait to see the Kraken. Dude, me too. I know that there was just a update for the game. So TLC, I think, but I don't remember my monitor. Yeah. So what would you suggest for obviously the upgrade? We'll go with that. I see a pirate hijacked javelin.
So yeah, that's going to depend, on your budget. Do you know what CPU you have, and would you be sticking with that? That can help, so I don't, offer you something that might bottleneck everything else. But it's obviously going to depend on your budget and what you're trying to do. The 4060 is performing really great. 4060 Ti, that's a great starting point to get you up to something current that can do most things. 5700 XT, okay, yeah. So. I would say that's a higher end card. So I would say, start with a 4060 Ti, and if your budget can allow it, 4070 and 4080s are performing great as well. If you can wait, I'm sure there's going to be a new generation of cards announced soon. So if it's not a super priority, you could wait on that. Maybe prices would come down on the current stuff, but.
Okay.
So. Yeah. That javelin's insane. The Kraken is also something I'm really looking forward to seeing on there. GPUs for we could just use the Go Ogly. Let's use the Go Ogly.
Okay, yeah.
I prefer to ask Jeeves.
Reverse to my GPU updates. So see if it's got it.
Okay,
yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, sometimes I don't download the latest driver ever. Anytime it says that if my stuff's working, I'll leave it at that.
I don't use the internet, so what I get is what I got.
There you go.
Mama always said the internet was for devils.
Yeah.
That's why they can't brush.
Whoa. Okay, so actually, the 3.0 GPUs. PCI 3.0 we're looking at like the Radeon RX 580s, the NVIDIA 1660s.
Okay, that generation. All right.
Yeah. And then there is the RTX 2070 Super is PCIe 3.
Hey, I guessed it right.
Yep. So the 20 series is about as high as you can go. But the upside is they've come way down in price.
Okay, that's good.
Let's see here. Is this the giveaway? No, this is actually a customer build. This is for Jessica in Georgia. So question coming in from my 980 Ti just up and quit my board in PSU following 3 and 4 months later. Oh, good Lord. I'm so sorry. Being the Liberator's the largest one you want? Nice. Summers One Mons asks, one thing I'd like to clarify is that the starter ship for the winners will be the bundle they win in the giveaway, or will players have to buy a starter pack on the website and then will redeem their ships after? That is an excellent question that I don't have an answer for, but we can definitely find out. Let's see here. Shazdash, are there any concerns with small form factor PCs? Looking specifically at the MSI MPG B760i.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're building a small form factor PC, you're going to be looking at, obviously, the form factor. So you want that to match your motherboard. You want your motherboard and case to match that.
And
so if you're going for,
your case.
Yeah, power supply can be a factor in that as well. If you're going like down to an ITX. So ITX is the smallest form factor. So you're looking at an ITX motherboard, you'll notice it's a small square with just 4 mounting screws. And then you have MATX, which is a little bit bigger than that. Then you've got ATX, which is what we've got here, just a full-size board. So that's what you want to pay attention to if you're doing a small form factor build. So look at that ATX, MATX, or ITX, and make sure your case and motherboard matches. Now going from there, like Zach mentioned, if you're going with a really small case, sometimes you need an SFX power supply. That's a smaller version of one. It should say when you look at your case specifications. And then something else to keep in mind while you're doing that, make sure that the case you get, if you're using an AIO like we are here, if you got a 360, make sure that that case has room for a 360 and also room for your video card as well.
Gotcha. Let's see here, just making sure I catch up on all the questions. So Teddy Bear mentions they have a i3 1000F and a GTX 1650. All right. Do you use AMD? And if you have, and do you use AMD? And if you do, have you ever had any issues similar to yours? That's coming in from TLC.
Yeah. So, go ahead, DJ.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
You got a current
I have
one.
that's.
So
yeah, I have a 5600X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my first PC I built was AMD. I switched over to Intel when I upgraded from that, and I've gone back and forth between Radeon and NVIDIA for my GPU. I pretty much stick with NVIDIA now. It's a little bit, I mean, depending on what you get, the prices are kind of all over the place on all the cards. But I've been with Intel for quite a while now. It is almost time to upgrade my PC, and the new Ryzen chips look really cool. So, we'll see when I upgrade, but I will say I think I do prefer Intel and NVIDIA GPUs.
Yeah, I run an AMD build for my streaming rig, but I use an NVIDIA graphics card. Now, I've only got a 5600X, and that's a Ryzen 5, I believe. It's a 5600X, and then a 1070.
And we've got plenty of people here that are the exact opposite from me. They just run AMD and Radeon cards. So, I mean, there's people in the industry that are on both sides. Right now, everything is just really good, honestly. It used to be a little bit different, but, I mean, the new processors on both teams are really solid. Look at that. It's pretty clean, Zach. Pretty clean.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just stop whispering. It's okay.
I know, right? All right.
All right,
While
well,
he's finishing
we can start
that
throwing these
up.
on.
While they're throwing things on, I want to throw you on to something absolutely amazing, and that is our website. So let's check out how you can get your hands on a brand new CLX PC. We try and make it as easy as possible at clxgaming.com to ensure that you've got all the tools you need in order to build the perfect machine just for you. And it is compatibility proof, which means we make sure that all of your parts and pieces fit. In the event that you happen to choose two things that may not necessarily work together, that little green button, like you just saw, turns to yellow. And what that means is that it's going to give you options. For this, it's a motherboard and processor. So it's going to say, all right, you chose these two things that don't work together. So either you can keep the processor and choose one of these motherboards that works with it, or you can keep this motherboard and choose one of these processors that will work with that. Once that's completed, you've solved the problem, and you go back and choose everything. Now, we do all sorts of stuff, from upgrading, from overclocking GPUs and CPUs, from liquid cooling in closed loop or open loop environments. We've got software and even accessories. Now, the accessories is the fun part. Not only can you get cool t-shirts and windbreakers like the one I'm wearing right now, but also we can get everything from headsets to modems and chairs, you name it, streaming gear. This is the best part, like beacon items, beacons, mixed creating the beacon mic. All super awesome stuff. Capture cards, you name it, we got it. It's all right there. Now, if you're not really into building your own PC, because it can be a little bit intimidating, don't worry. We've got dozens of ready-to-ship models that are already looking for a new home, and who knows, they might just be going to yours. So for all of your needs for PC gear, all you've got to do is check out clxgaming.com. Come say hi. We'd love to have you. All right. Now, with that being said, Paul, as always, let's walk everybody through what happens when we finish this build. Where is it going to go?
Yeah, so once we're done with this and it turns on, we're going to take it to our testing and integration department. And so from there, they're going to initially get into the BIOS, and we'll make sure all of our RAM speed's set correctly, all of our storage devices are showing up, and maybe mess around with a couple other settings in there. If you pick overclocking, that's where we would set the overclock. And then once we're done with the BIOS, we actually load the system. So whatever operating system you picked, and then if you selected any games on our website, we load that there. If you didn't pick any games and you just got an operating system, then that's all you're going to get. We don't put any bloatware on our machines. You're not going to get a bunch of different copies of an antivirus software. Yep, just going to get a fresh install of your operating system. And then once everything's loaded on there, that's when we will put the system through a 12-hour burn-in or a stress test. And that allows us to make sure everything's stable. And if something was going to fail, most likely it's going to fail in that initial, run up in use. So that allows us, if it was going to fail, to catch it here, fix it, and that way you get a stable system at home.
Now this is funny. Semmers one more says Paul looks like Nomad from the newer Ghost Recon game.
I'm not sure who that is, but I'll have to look it up.
He also, like me, he was also in the military.
Yep, was Air Force, was an aircraft mechanic for 6 years. Did like it.
He makes the things fly. God, that looks sick inside. Look at that, it's gorgeous. Absolutely loving it. Curry Ann asks, how many PCs were made for DreamHack?
Oh, that is a good question. So that's kind of the number is always kind of changing because we'll power different booths in there, but I think we had around 200 just in the free play, and then I'm sure we had probably another, 50 to 100 scattered throughout the whole convention and the stream studio and throughout the various booths there. So quite a bit.
1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Oh, okay.
That's how many systems.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, well, now it is going to be the moment of truth. Let's check it out.
All right. Bam. This thing looks great. I want to see this.
Wow.
I want to see this.
Look at that
AIO
Corsair, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
nice.
probably take a little
Booting
bit
up.
of time to load up, and then it should go. Yeah. Oh, nice. We got a 0 degree here.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely breathtaking. Dude, I'm loving it. Especially given the fact that it has the
Oh, it's just running through its stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's cool. Well, yeah, I'm just jazzed about that Corsair topper. That's incredible. So let's go over once again all the fun things that are inside this brilliant brand new PC for Jessica in Georgia. This PC is going to come with an Intel Core i9-14900KF processor mounted on an MSI MPG Z790 Edge Wi-Fi motherboard. It has 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 RAM by ADATA, and we've got an Asus ROG Strix GeForce RTX 4080 Overclock Edition. The operating system is going to be on a 2 terabyte Samsung N970 Evo Plus NVMe M.2 with another 2 terabyte in secondary storage, and that is a Patriot at P300. M.2. Our CPU is going to be cooled by a Corsair iQ H150i Elite LCD XT360 closed loop cooler. And of course, we've also got 8 Enermax HF120 fans that are all in there, and you can see how beautiful those are. The entire thing is powered by a 1,000 watt EVGA Supernova G580 Plus Gold. And of course, it's all in that beautiful, nifty little NV5 case that we just love. So that is awesome. Looks great. I'm super jazzed. This is fun. I'm really jazzed about that 360. The AIO looks great. All right. Now, as usual, we're going to do the show in 2 parts today. In just a few, we're going to be taking a break. And when we come back, you're going to spend the afternoon with Zach building some more incredibly new and awesome machines. Now, for everybody who's wondering, well, where are we going to get more codes? We've got more codes coming to you. And of course, you can find codes on our shows. They're going to be focused on kick streams on Tuesdays, Twitch on Thursdays, although we're on all the time. And that show is always at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern. Now, you can also find codes on my channel. I will have codes for both giveaways today during my show. We'll wait till you guys are done here before we start that. But in the meantime, you can also find codes along with figuring out what's going on with all the latest and greatest CLX gaming at our socials. That is YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at CLX Gaming. If you'd like to join an amazing, like-minded PC enthusiast community, head on over to our Discord. It's discord.gg/CLX Gaming. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Stick around. We've got more coming up in just a second. There's what? Oh, they're telling me no after show. Got it. So I need to be ready to go. All right. Well, there we go. Cool. So there's not going to be an after show. So we'll, yeah, that's it. So on behalf of Kyle and Jason, whoops, that is not the button I wanted to push.
Well, you are going to be starting soon, so it works.
Kyle and Jason, Paul and Zach, I'm DJ PDX. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you for watching.